Hey, geeks and gamers. Enjoy this fifth volume. I think it's what I'm on. Am I? Hold on, let me look. Volume 5 of my shitty old reviews. I haven't done one of these in a few months. I figured I've been a bit busy right now with the editing for Alex Month over on the Butt Mappers, along with trying to maintain some other stuff that I do. So while I am working on the next Games That Shape Me episode and some more reviews, I'm not sure how soon they'll be out. So I wanted to give you something to watch in the meantime. So here are some more of my shitty old reviews. Sit back, enjoy, grab some popcorn, grab your nearest friend, make them suffer through them. If you don't know what the series is, if you're on Volume 5 for some reason, I have no clue what these are. These are reviews that I posted on Frickin' Freck Films way back before TurboZone even existed. These were my first series of game reviews. I was very amateur. I had a speech impediment. I didn't know what I was doing, and I think these reviews are fucking terrible. They have been lost to time, only I have had them stored away. And here within this series, I have been bringing these reviews back out to the public for consumption. So enjoy Volume 5, you guys. Laugh, cry, probably cringe a little bit. Bye.
Super Hyper Turbo Gamers.
Hey everybody, I'm doing a Dreamcast game again. It's Powerstone. It's Powerstone. Got Josh here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Josh is doing Powerstone with me.
I'm here and I'm not queer.
Josh, do you want to talk about Powerstone?
I love Powerstone. I really, really love Powerstone. I played a demo of it for the Dreamcast. I absolutely loved it. And I never got the full game because I only owned a total of 5 Dreamcast games at most at one time. And then my Dreamcast broke, so yeah, that was a sad day. But I had the collection for the PSP, and then my PSP kind of messed up for a while, so I sold it, and I regret that decision too, because I fixed my PSP, and I can't play.
That was a grand story, Josh. Thank you for sharing. Well, here we got Powerstone on the Dreamcast, as you saw by the little opening swirl thing. Playing Powerstone with Wang Tang, my favorite character.
I think everybody out here is awesome in their own little way.
Yeah, well, I like Wang Tang, and I like that chick, the little Ayami chick, or whatever. Because she's fast.
I like the pilot guy. I like Wang Tang. Wang Tang is really awesome. I always played as the pilot guy because, I had the demo for the most.
Oh, yeah.
And, I only got to play as him or the, is he black? The rock guy.
I think he's, supposed to be Mexican or something?
I have no idea. He reminds me of a black guy. I mean, I think big, darker skinned people, I think black guys because...
But, he has a little Mexican stash, though, so I always thought he was, Mexican.
He might be. I don't know. But, I always played as airplane dude because...
Oh, yeah, Falcon. Falcon's the airplane dude.
Yeah, but, I never called them by their names. I didn't play the games enough to really do that. But this game's awesome because it's not a normal fighter. It's an arena fighter.
Yeah.
And the first one's not the best one, but
it's still fun.
It's awesome. It's an arena fighter. You don't sit there. It's not like Street Fighter where you go back and forward and stuff. You got this big room. You're running around. You can throw chairs at each other. You can grab But the objective is to try to get the gems.
Yeah.
You need to get the gems. You need to beat the crap out of the person who took the gems, and that you need to catch them on fire with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
But getting the gems is the most important thing because you power up into something awesome, and you completely beat the crap out of them, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that makes this game so great is that you can kind of, it's very broken if you know what you're doing. Like it's not like well, what's the right word I'm looking for?
What?
If you know what you're doing, you're gonna always win. That's how, it's really hard to be, to make this a, there's no real, from what I've played, there's no real, like, bunch of combos. You get the gems, and you just completely destroy the person who failed to get the gems.
Well,
that's pretty much how you win.
I reviewed, a few months back, One Piece Grand Battle, and those games kind of play like Powerstone. So I've kind of already talked about these kind of games before. These kind of like open arena like battle games.
There needs to be more of them.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I'll say it again, and I mean this. I honestly think the Super Smash Brothers games should play like this. I think it would be better. It would be more exciting, and Nintendo could pull it off, and it would be even. Greater. Yeah.
I think it'd be fun, but I don't think I would prefer it over what we have, now with Smash Bros. But I still think it'd be a cool idea.
Not only that though, but with the whole adventure mode, it would be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Even though the new Super Smash Brothers doesn't have the adventure mode or something like that.
We're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about new Smash Bros.
Oh, Lil Mac. Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Mac. But
this game is awesome.
This game is awesome.
If you are into any sort of fighters, especially 3D fighters, this is a unique game. There's not many arena fighters out there, or there is, and I just haven't seen them. But
plus, it's Capcom, and Capcom on the Dream.
It's early It's 90s Capcom.
It's Dreamcast Capcom, and that's probably when Capcom was at their peak.
The 90s and early 2000s was Capcom's best years. They made the best games, and this is definitely one of the most underrated games out there. I mean, everybody knows of it, but nobody has it. Because nobody had a Dreamcast.
Yeah, well,
if you have a PSP or PS Vita, you get it for the PSP if you got one. If you got the Vita, download it. It is worth it because if you like fighters or any, you need to get it. It's that plain and simple.
Well, also on the Dreamcast, Capcom kind of like rivaled Sega for having the best games on Sega's own console. Because they put out like a crap ton of games on Dreamcast. It's crazy. And
Powerstone is easily one of my favorite Capcom games, and that's
it's fun.
Something with.
It's one of the best Dreamcast games.
Yeah.
Oh,
well. Powerstone 2 is probably my favorite Dreamcast game, hands down. That was
the Powerstone video review. It was pretty awesome. I guess, I don't know, I'll see you in a different review or something. Josh, you want to say something before we go?
Nope, I'm good.
You good? Okay, well, I'll see you guys in my next video. Hey Geeks and Gamers, today I'm reviewing Ratchet Deadlocked. This game is known among Ratchet & Clank fans as being a black sheep in the series, or at least it was at release. Nowadays, I'd say it'd be up there with Full Frontal Assault and All for One. It's one of those odd Ratchet titles Insomniac comes out with every now and again. And before I start the video, let's get this out of the way. While I own the original PS2 version of this game, I'm reviewing the PSN PS3 version. Why? Because it has some odd differences between the two versions. Nothing too jarring, but just odd ones that I just want to address. That I've never really heard a lot of people talk about. Here on the PS3 downloadable version of Ratchet Deadlocked, for one, they're slow down during the gameplay sometimes. That's not a huge deal. That is something you could notice, but it's not too bad. The thing I wanted to really touch upon is that the cutscenes in the game that use the in-game engine, they have this weird problem where the models will tick and jitter. Here, just watch closely and let me explain.
Wow, this place is crazy. I've always wondered what it'd be like to be a professional gladiator. I mean, these guys have the life, the fame, the money, the babes.
Try not to forget that we are being held prisoner by a criminal organization.
See here, Ratchet? Yeah, I never heard of him. Well, he's probably just intermission material, folks, but don't worry, we have Grey Thunder and Hydro Girl coming up later, so stay tuned to Dread Zone.
Just odd. That's just odd, right? And other times they will just go all wonky. Like, look at this guy's face.
Greetings, hero, and welcome to Dread Zone. Rest assured, you are now far beyond the reach of hope. There will be no rescues, no pardons, no possibility of escape. You are now a contestant on the greatest television program the galaxy has ever known. A celebrity gladiator battling for the pleasure of 1 billion screaming fans across the Shadow Sector and beyond. Chances are you'll be dead by tomorrow. But those of you who play the game with skill and strategy will earn a chance to win your freedom.
Or better yet, look at Ratchet during this cutscene.
Oh, here he is. He's a little guy, isn't he? Well, don't bother getting up for drinks, folks. This guy won't last 2 rounds.
We'll see.
Ugh, it's just so odd. I know for a fact that the original version didn't do that. It's just so weird that this downloadable version has that problem. And I've tried to look it up to see if other people are having this problem with the downloadable version, and I've never really found an answer. So if someone wants to comment and tell me, hey, my version's not doing that on PS3, or hey, yeah, mine does that too, I really want to know, because it's just something odd that I've noticed. But beyond this version's problems, what is Ratchet Deadlocked? Well, Ratchet Deadlocked is a spin-off of sorts from the original Ratchet & Clank trilogy. It takes the gladiator-style gameplay and weapons from Ratchet & Clank and throws away most of the platforming. There is light platforming here, but it's not to the extent of the first 3 titles. And a lot of fans outcry at this fact, but I think it works remarkably well. The setup is pretty clever too. You play as Ratchet, competing in this game show, well, more like being forced into this game show by the threat of death. Either way, it's Ratchet shooting, using vehicles, upgrading, completing challenges, and beating bosses. I think it works for the series. It's up there with A Crack in Time, Up Your Arsenal, and Into the Nexus as one of my personal favorite Ratchet & Clank games. I mean, the best part of any Ratchet game is the arena-style missions. It's so great to have a game based around that, and I wish they would go back to this idea and maybe update it with the newer Ratchet stuff, because the newer Ratchet games have a lot cooler weapons. So I wish they'd make a Deadlocked 2 of sorts, or I guess if you're in Europe, this game was called Gladiator, and make a second one and update a lot of the weapons and have a lot of the more current Ratchet flair. And other than this port's obvious problems that I've mentioned, the game doesn't have much wrong with it. I mean, Insomniac, they perfected the Ratchet formula with Up Your Arsenal. So this only feels like a natural progression, and where it feels like a shooter. It just feels like more like a shooter than it does a platformer, but I feel like that's what Ratchet & Clank was slowly evolving into. And I like to think that this game led Insomniac into making the awesome Resistance series. So I'd say if you want a pretty fun little shooter-style game that plays well in co-op, go for Ratchet Deadlocked. I'd probably go for the PS2 version, unless this odd port is your only way to get a hold of the title. If that, it's still not a bad port, it just has those little kinks that I mentioned before. And that was my review, Geeks and Gamers. I'll see you guys in my next video.
Come on, Clank. Can't I just enjoy the moment?
Do you realize how many other heroes they have killed? Here, watch this.
And now for a Vox News action update.
The new season of Dread Zone is underway and on pace to break ratings records once again. This year's contestants include the notorious mafia crime boss known as Ratchet, seen here at his Mokhtar estate.
And to think that other networks actually call him a hero.
It's truly sad, Dallas.
Sega.
Welcome one and all to Sega Sunday, the only Sunday that involves Sega. I'm so glad to see you all came. Oh, thank you so much. Please, save your applause for the end. Thank you so much, please. Oh, today we got a hell of a game. It's the Sega Genesis Collection, the Sega Genesis Collection for the PS2. Man, if you don't know me and you watch this show, you're obviously deaf, because I love the Sega Genesis. It is my favorite console of all time, and in fact, it's half the reason why I make Sega Sunday episodes, is so I can talk about stuff Genesis related. And this is the Sega Genesis Collection for the PS2, not to be confused with Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. There is a game called Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection that is for the PS3 and Xbox 360. I reviewed that a long time ago. It was like my third review ever. So you can go check that out. But this is just the Sega Genesis Collection for the PS2, and it is fantastic. Now, if you don't know what the Genesis is, you should probably die. I mean, what? Sorry. No, I mean, it is a 16-bit console made around, in the 90s by Sega. And it was a contender for the console wars against the Super Nintendo, and it is my favorite of the two for various reasons. And this is its collection of games for the PS2. Now, this version and the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection have very, very, very different games. Not like they have stuff missing from each one. Like, this one is missing like the Shining Force games and a few like the other games like that. I think it's missing Streets of Rage stuff, and then the other the Sonic's Ultimate has games missing that this collection has. So it's worth your while to pick up both collections. I'm just gonna put that out there before I start this whole spiel. But this collection overall is a great collection of really, really awesome Sega Genesis games. Now, they're all Sega branded titles, games that came out under the Sega name, first party games, as you might say, which is, it's good, because, Sega definitely made some pretty amazing games like Sonic and Altered Beast and Columns and whatnot. So they definitely made some really, really amazing stuff especially during that era. And this collection is just it's just a I don't know. It just shows off what they accomplished during that time. It kind of sucks that Sega went out of the console industry, because they really had a lot of potential. I mean, I'm glad they're still around today making software, but they're nothing like they used to be. This Sega was amazing and creative and inventive. The Sega for the Genesis and the Sega for the Dreamcast, my two favorite eras of Sega, and it's amazing. But this collection has a pretty nice library. You got your Sonic titles, you got your Golden Axe titles, you got Comic Zone, Altered Beast, you got that kind of stuff. Like Shinobi 3, Shadow Dancer, Gain Ground. I think it's missing Fatal Labyrinth, which sucks because I love Fatal Labyrinth. I don't know, but you got a pretty good array, like Vector Man stuff. You got a pretty vast just list of Genesis games to go through and have fun with. And each game can actually save state. You can save where you are in the game and come back later and load up that save file and continue playing, which is really helpful, especially on some really hard games. You go through, you're trying to play, I don't know, say Golden Axe 2, and you're trying to beat it, and it's really tough, which I don't really find Golden Axe 2 to be that hard in the first place, but it's really, really nice to have the saving feature there. So, if you're getting into Genesis, and this is like a baby step into getting into the whole, Sega Genesis library, this is what you do when you just want to test the water, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody who is either interested in Sega Genesis, has a Sega Genesis, but doesn't really have a way to get a lot of games for it, or, I don't know, just
sees it for cheap. You know, this is for PS2. I think this is also for PSP. If I don't know. I could be mistaken. I know there's a Genesis collection for PSP. I'm not a PSP owner, so I'm not really too sure. But I have the PS2 version here, and every game runs smooth. Every game looks nice. They have tons of bonus content. Like there's tons of like developer interviews and tons of just did you know this? Did you know that? You know, facts. And there's arcade games you probably never played before. There's a lot on this disc that it just makes it worth the while to go pick up. I think I paid $7 for my copy, which is a heck of a good deal for this vast collection. I've sunk a lot of time into this disc, and I don't know. It's just I love the Genesis, and if you're watching this show and you watch it because it's Sega Sunday, not just because you stumbled upon it, you probably love the Genesis. So I would say if you love Genesis and you're kind of interested in this, go check out the list of games for this game, and go check out the list of games for Sonic's Ultimate, and maybe choose from the two because they both have different games on each one. Sonic Ultimate has more games, but this game has some games that it's missing, so I still think it's worthwhile to have both of them on one disc. And I don't know. I just love Sega Genesis. It brings back a point in my childhood that I just adored. When games were simpler. When games were simple and things were just, I don't know, more fun, and everything was amazing to me as a kid. So, but with that, Geeks and Gamers, that was my review of the Genesis collection for PS2. I see you guys in next week's Sega Sunday. You can now applaud. Goodbye.
Archie! Hurry! Save us, Archie!
Are these the rebels? One group of them, sir. They have no strength to resist any longer.
But the leaders are still alive. There's no time now. Join the troops intercepting the ruffians.
Listen. A ruffian swarm is approaching your position. I've also confirmed Radon's location.
Didn't I tell you? Make me the bait, and Radon will come to feast. Radon is jealous of me. I took you for myself.
I have chosen you.
Group. They've all been killed.
Archie? Did you see them? Cold-blooded killers. Even if we steal the damn transport, it won't mean anything if there's no one to ride in it.
Relax, Iron. Wake Saki. You've put their faith in us. We must try to help the others.
That's only if the soldiers hit the ruffians like we expected.
Not expected. As I predicted. Window. It will all be...
Hey everybody, as you can see from that very cheesy opening, I am reviewing a very special game today, because it is a Nintendo 64 game that was never released in America until like the past couple years. It is Sin and Punishment. Sin and Punishment is a game made by Treasure Games, Because Treasure is responsible for like a bunch of shoot 'em up games like Ikaruga and Gunstar Heroes and this. And their games are usually pretty tough and pretty fun. And what's very interesting about this game, it is one of the only like Nintendo games that is actually rated M. This game, it doesn't look like it'd be rated M, but it is actually rated M. I thought that was pretty interesting. How I'm playing it is they've recently within like the past 4 or 5 years, they released it on the Wii Virtual Console for N64, and this is the only way here in America that you can play this game. And I understand why they didn't, put it on 64 back in the day for us Americans. It's very Japanese. The story is very convoluted. I can't even follow the story. As you see from the opening, it's very convoluted. The dub for English is very cheesy and bad. But the gameplay is fun, fast action shooting, and I like it a lot. I actually picked up this game the same week that the second one came out for Wii, and the second one for Wii was actually released here in America for some odd reason, and I bought it the week it came out. So I bought this too just to see what the first one was like. And it's a lot of fun. It's like a Star Fox type game. I'm playing it with my Classic Controller Pro, and on the controller setup, you move with the D-pad, you aim with your right stick, your left button is to shoot, and your right button is to jump, and that's all the controls you need. And if you tap the left button, also you can do a little hit move. But that's it. And this game is actually pretty fun. It's cool to go back and see Japanese games that were never released in America, and why? Because there's a lot of them. Like there's this and Mario Bros 2, and I have like Monster World 4 and stuff, and it's pretty cool. This game gets tough. I'm only showing you the first few areas because I don't want to like show too much of the game, just in case you are interested in playing this game, because this is a game that many people probably haven't played, and I would advise you do it. It's a hidden gem among the 64 catalog. This is a game that you need a Wii to play though, because you have to download it. I don't know if there's any ROMs or anything of this game out there, but if there is, you go at it. But I downloaded it. It was like $12, so hey, it's a pretty good deal. This is a very fast, very intense shoot 'em up game in the vein of like Star Fox and stuff. And this is actually weird to see from Nintendo, because Nintendo usually doesn't do this kind of stuff. They do Star Fox and stuff, but even that's cute and like animal-like. I would expect something like this from like Sega. Sega's used to doing weird Japanese-like shooty games, so it's very odd to see this from Nintendo of all people. And the fact that they made a sequel for this on Wii in America is astounding, because most Americans haven't heard of this game. And I didn't hear this game till the sequel was coming out, and it looked really good, so I decided to check this series out, and it's a pretty fun series. I like the series a lot actually now. I wish they would bring these characters into Smash Bros. I know that guy right there, I forgot his name, but he was a trophy in Smash Bros. Melee. But I wish they would actually bring them as like playable characters in the next Smash Bros. Either from this game or the sequel. Probably the sequel, because that one's more well known now. Now, I do feel like the sequel is better than this, because the sequel has pointer controls and it feels a little smoother. But this is a lot of fun, and the graphics look pretty awesome for an N64 game. I thought that's why the audio messed up, because the opening was really pixelated and blocky, but it was still really had like cool blur effects and stuff, and it was better than most N64 cutscenes. So that messed up the dazzle and the audio in turn. Every shooter has to have a helicopter, boss. I think it's a rule now. It's like if you mix Contra and Star Fox. It's pretty cool. And I think here's the last boss I'm showing to you right now. Just kind of choppy because once again the graphics are good, but not like as good as like other consoles, so it's weird in my dazzle. So you have to settle with what I give you. If it looks interesting to you, pick it up because it is actually a lot of fun, and it's really hard. I haven't beat it yet. I've always gotten game overs, and it's just a very hard game. But I would advise you please pick it up and try it out. And this is pretty fun. I wish, well, I hope Nintendo continues this series with a third one, maybe for the Wii U. I don't know, because if this, if they keep on, this series could be a well-known series for them now. Because I mean, they already made a sequel on the Wii of all things. So that was my review, my first Japanese exclusive import type review ever. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey geeks and gamers, welcome to my review of Rise of Nightmares for the Xbox 360 Kinect. The Kinect is something I have a love-hate sort of relationship with. I love the idea of hands-free gaming. I hate the execution. And here's a good example of why I'm not really too crazy about the Kinect, and why I don't see myself even bothering with one if I ever pick up an Xbox One. The Kinect is something that, while cool, the device itself never really got it down pat. There were a lot of games that just felt clunky and slow, and sadly this is one of them. The thought of playing a horror game with the Kinect sounds appealing, and that's why I originally picked this game up. Rise of Nightmare is a Sega game, it's a horror game, and it's one of the first adventure games for the Kinect, and it looked promising until I started playing it. It's about a guy named Josh, which I'm not Josh right now. This is before the game starts. You have to do this little part, which is like a tutorial as you play as a different character, but you play as Josh, who we'll see here in a bit is a drunk or something, I don't know. Then his wife doesn't like him, apparently, and they're on a train in Russia. Then this evil thing steals his wife, I guess, and you gotta go get her. I don't know. The story's lame, but that's not what you care about. You care about how does it control. Well, the game's at its best whenever you let it control itself. There's certain parts to where you can fight, like here, which they control all right, but it's the moving. How do you exactly move with the Kinect? Well, to manually walk, you have to put one of your feet out to move, and you have to move your shoulders back and forth to view. Or you can do what I'm doing here and just raise your right hand, and the game will move for you. And that is the best option, because you're literally, with the manual controls, you're not getting anywhere. You're gonna like run into walls and stuff. It's not easy. And I mean, I enjoy some other Kinect games, so I'm not like just bashing the motion controls in general. It's just the walking around in this game just doesn't work how it's supposed to work, which is sad, because this game is surprisingly nice looking, and if it had a compatibility with the controller, it'd probably be a lot of fun. But or maybe be bland, because most of the game's based around pulling levers and doing this boring stuff like that. Heck, the first 20 minutes of the game is walking around a train.
Wait, this is too easy. Easy? I don't want to be around when
It's not really scary per se. It tries to come off as scary, but it just comes off as corny. And sadly, as that's always been one of Sega's problems, even when they try to make games scary, they always come off as a corny experience, just like here. I mean, oh no, I gotta run from monsters. I would just raise my right hand. See, and this part is supposed to be scary because they're trapped, and oh no! Oh, what's going to happen to them? Oh my, the walls are caving in. Oh no! Oh, what do we do? Oh no! And then they get squished. Squish! And like I said, I have a bunch of other Kinect games that like actually work, and some of them are surprisingly good. If you like adventure games and you have a Kinect and you're looking for something good to play, I wouldn't really pick this up unless you've already played Fable the Journey and Gunstringer. If you've played those two games and you're still looking around, you can try this one out. It's not like the worst thing I've ever played. It's just it's a little clunky. Here's Josh on the train. Here's his nagging wife that gets mad at him and stuff later on. And oh no, here's one of the creepy parts. You gotta splash your face with water. Gotta make sure you wake up. Oh. And for the most part, the little actions like that actually kind of work. Like like the opening doors and the splashing your face, and there's parts we get to flip cards and do all that cool stuff. That stuff actually pretty works. It's just the moving doesn't work. The actual moving around from place to place doesn't work. I mean, I think they even knew that because they gave you an option for the game to move for you. So your right hand does get tired, though, eventually. So there is a penalty, I guess, for using the auto features. Oh no! Everybody get out of the way! We're a cop. We got stuff. Oh no! Oh, bad guy with the wife. And I guess that's the plot. I guess you have to go save your wife. I haven't actually gotten too far in this game because it's really not that great. and like I said, as a concept, this is a great concept. I just wanted to like this game, but there's no way I could have. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. See, your train crashed, and now here I am walking across train tracks, or not train tracks, but train cars on the water. And you gotta balance so you don't fall off. Oh, and so it's actually way harder than it looks because it doesn't tell you what to do to balance. You're like waving around and waggling around trying to figure it out. But the Xbox 360 Kinect is still, in my opinion, it's still a novelty. It's still something that you should look at, but never put too much money into it. You know, look at, maybe a friend has it, play his, or you get it for cheap in some cheap games, get it. But, you know, never go out of your way to get, you know, the Kinect for a high price, because it doesn't work. And in the case of Rise of Nightmare, the name is true because it's a nightmare to control. It's just, this game isn't very good. I'm sorry. I usually don't do negative reviews, but this game is just, it's just something else. Like I said, go play the Gunslinger or go play Fable the Journey. Those are much better Kinect games. But there you go. That was my review of Rise of Nightmares for the Xbox 360 Kinect. Up next is, of course, more horror games. Yay! So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey geeks and gamers, today I'm reviewing an original Xbox game, a game that I love very, very much. That game is Fable. So, I'm gonna, well, for one, before you start this review, this is gonna be one of those long ones that I do every now and again. I haven't done a long review since, I think, GTA 5. So this is gonna be one of those, like, almost 20-minute, videos that I make sometimes. And, you know what? I'm just warning you, so you're not sitting here for 20 minutes listening to me babble, because that's what I do on this show. I babble to you about video games, because it's a commentary show. So, the original Xbox is something that I have a weird history with. Whenever I was little, the original Xbox came out alongside the PS2 and the GameCube. And I had a Nintendo 64, a PlayStation 1, and then I had my Sega Genesis and my Super Nintendo that I still have now. Well, whenever I was little, I thought it'd be a great idea, well, me and my family thought it'd be a great idea to trade in the Nintendo 64 and PS1 to get an Xbox. So, I did, and you know what, I was little, I wouldn't say it was a mistake, but I did lose a lot of awesome games from those two other consoles. But I got an original Xbox. I had my original Xbox for, I would say, about 2 years. And then I swapped it for a PS2 because PS2 had just had more games that I wanted to play. But whenever I did have my original Xbox, there were a handful of games that stuck with me that I wouldn't get to experience for many more years. Then, whenever I finally got another Xbox, I got Fable. Because Fable was a game that I played a few times as a kid, but I never got into much. And now I have an Xbox that I bought for $40 at a local game store. And I have tons of Xbox games, because those games are cheap. And I have Fable, and I love this game to death, honestly. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. Fable is an awesome franchise, but Fable 2 is way better than the original Fable game. But this game is still pretty awesome for an action-adventure game. The hook on Fable is that as you play, you kind of like shape your character's morality. You can be good or bad. You could do good deeds, bad things, whatever. And you kind of shape like that. And also, I'm not able to show you, I guess, everything in this game. I'm only going to show you the opening a little bit whenever you're a kid. And a few of the missions when you're like an adult, a young adult. I don't show later parts of the games, but I'm telling you, play this game. Try it out for yourself. It's on the original Xbox, and it's also, I think they have an anniversary edition out for 360, and I think it's also on Steam. Pick this game up. It's amazing. It's a really good action-adventure game. It's kind of in the vein of a Legend of Zelda, but a little more RPG-like. Now, the story is you play as a young boy who grew up in a town called Oakvale, who in the town exists in the land of Albion. The whole Fable franchise takes place in Albion. So, being this young boy, you have dreams of becoming a hero or an evil warrior. You have dreams of both, and you're kind of known as the destined one, I guess. And the game starts out, and you have to go get a birthday present for your big sister. You have to go around and do deeds. The opening kind of shows you kind of how the quest system works and how the morality system works. So you have to go around and do good deeds, and if you do good deeds, your dad will give you money so you can buy your sister's gift. It's pretty simple, pretty cool opening, and the first thing you'll notice is the style of the game isn't exactly realistic, but it's very charming and it looks very nice. Even by today's standards, this game doesn't look as bad. Yeah, it's a little choppy because it's on an older console, but it doesn't look as bad.
Where's that
Now,
layabout husband of mine?
like I said, you're walking around Oakville,
With some
you're doing
woman
good
already
deeds,
house,
and
bring up
whatever.
his
It's
children,
it's
and
fun
what do
old,
I get in
fun old
return?
Fable
If you
time.
find him, let me know. Well,
And I don't know. I don't want to tell you more about the plot until we see it. I don't want to expose more of what's going to happen to little you in Oakville until we see it happen. But this is all within like the first 20 minutes, so I'm not spoiling anything. I'm only showing this part of the story. Then after that, it's all you to go find out. I'm just going to show you a few of the quests.
I hope you haven't
There's Big
forgotten
Sister.
what day it
You have
is,
to go get her
like you did last
gift.
year.
A gift.
I'm sorry if I woke you
Get
up
her
last
gift.
night. It was another of those dreams.
So,
I was standing in this field.
and like I said, this game's too big for me to cover every single aspect.
Never mind that.
So yeah, I may leave things
I'm
out.
still waiting for my present.
Now, after you do get her gift finally, something goes wrong. Bandits come and they attack Oakville.
Evil
come to Oakville. And they kind of they're looking for you. You're hiding out in the little patch, but they're looking for you, and they come through and they pretty much just murder everybody. They just kill everybody in your village, which is a pretty horrible thing, actually. This game has a very lighthearted style, and it looks very cutie, like, well, not cute, but like comical, and it's very funny, and it's just a charming game, but still, that's a pretty dark plot that, like, everybody that you knew, your home was just slaughtered and pillaged. It was terrible. So, yeah, you're kind of, I guess, out for revenge. You're trying to find, I forgot his name. I think it's the Jack of Blades. I don't know. The main bandit guy who was behind, you know, the pillage and stuff of your town. So that's a thing. That's a thing that's happening.
Took them both.
So, also, some of these cutscenes have some pretty awesome artwork. If you haven't noticed so far, this game is presented very, very well. I think the artwork is something that like Fable 2 and 3 and The Journey don't really do that well or as much. And it's a nice touch. Now here's your burning village. You're running through your burning village, freaking out because your village is burning. Someone left the stove on, I guess. That was my drum sound effect, my comedy drums. If you didn't understand. So yeah, and then you come across this guy. Well, not this guy. This guy on the floor, he's dead. But this guy who helps you out, and he kind of, I guess, recruits you. And he kind of, he's kind of like, hey, guess what? Everybody's dead. There's no use in crying over it. Come with me, and I'll train you to become a hero. And after I train you, you can go out and you can either get revenge or you can, become a big hero. Whatever you want to do.
You don't want to join
so
them, do you?
You go with this guy.
Give me your
this
hand.
the ominous looking guy, and you go to this academy and you train. I didn't show any footage here of you training in the academy because honestly that would be very, very boring footage. So we're going to go on to the first quest. Now the combat in this game plays very much kind of like a Zelda game. You can lock on and you have swords and melee weapons, which you can switch out. I show a few different ones. Like here I have a sword, later on I'll have a bigger sword, and then I'll have a hammer for the rest of it. And you have bows and crossbows you can use, and you have magic spells you can do too. So there's a lot in terms of combat, I guess. There was a lot of combat, better combat in 2, because the sequel lets you use guns. But we're not talking about Fable 2 right now. We're talking about Fable 1. I need to stop doing that. Now here's one of the big monsters you fight. Yeah, you see going around doing quests, fighting monsters. It's just action adventure fun. It just feels very nice, and you want to explore Albion, and you want to take these quests, and you just want to have adventures. You know, you want to either become this praised hero, or this like ominous evil warrior guy. You know, either one's really cool to do, and that adds a whole new layer of replay value right there, is to just play through it once and be very, very heroic and good, and play through it again and be very, very evil and dark, and then like it'll affect the way you look, and it'll affect the outcome, and it just makes for a very interesting concept, especially whenever I first played this game, because the like morality type stuff wasn't very popular back whenever this game was released. So getting to choose to be good or evil was kind of a novel concept back then. Sure, now a lot of the games do that. I can think of a few of them, like Infamous and stuff, that just you choose to be good or bad, you do whatever. Infamous, Mass Effect, I don't know, maybe Fallout, who knows. A bunch of those kinds of games does this, but this game was really one of the first ones to kind of put that into this kind of setting. I'm not going to say it's the first one to do it, because it's not, but it's the first one to apply it to, say, like an open world action adventure, to where everything you do kind of matters, and it makes everything feel bigger than it is, Because in all actuality, you're just doing, killing these monsters and doing tasks, and kind of choosing which path to take. But it works, The morality system really kind of works here.
You found me. That's just grand. If you can find me, so can they. I should never.
I'm trying to think of what else I can cover. I gave myself a lot of time to talk, and I always run out of things to say towards the end of these very long reviews. But sometimes I have to do a very long review if I want to show a lot of the game. Because, some games like Fable and Grand Theft Auto and Dante's Inferno, you can't do justice in, just a few seconds. It takes some time to actually show the game. Quest completed, yay, and you earn gold and stuff, and then here's the guild where I'm going to go and upgrade myself. You can go and level up. This is the RPG elements. You can go and level up. See, I'm going to get toughness, so I want some toughness. And you can do things like that and just, make your character all around better. And you can, sorry, yawning during a review. I'm so professional. You can you can change your appearance, and you can change your clothes and gear and armor, and you can. It's pretty much if an RPG and a Zelda-style action adventure had a little baby, and I think it really works. Fable is one of the best series, especially for like the Xbox and stuff. It's like one of the best reasons to have an Xbox. I would say Fable 1. Even now you can get it on 360, it is worth owning an original Xbox for, just for Fable 1. And same thing for Fable... my phone went off. Same thing for Fable 2. It's just really... It's worth having a console for the Fable series, it's... alongside Halo and Gears of War, it's one of the Xbox's, best franchises, and I don't think it gets enough praise nowadays. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Fable 3 was kind of disappointing, and I haven't played that much of the journey, but Fable Heroes is alright. I just, I want them to do another great Fable game like Fable 1 or Fable 2, and just, wow us again. Because whenever this game was released, there was really not a lot like it, you know, out there. Like I said, there was Zelda and stuff, and whatever the heck Dark Cloud on the PS2 was. I never played Dark Cloud, but Fable was kind of like the Zelda for Microsoft, you know, and it worked. Lionhead Studios did a really good job in crafting an action-adventure game that just felt grand, and, you know, I like Albion. I like this world, these creatures that I get to slay, these, you know, just everything about this world feels unique, you know. There's no, you know, it's not like a medieval fantasy world either, you know. There's no castles and, you know, stuff like that. It's not like you're fighting dragons and you're a knight and stuff, you know, because a lot of games just use that lazy route. It's actually its own world, and it works really well. You know, I know if you play Kingdoms of Amalur, it's kind of like Fable. So if you've played Kingdoms of Amalur and you kind of want more of that kind of games, check out the Fable series. The Fable series is a fantastic series.
Legends say it's full of that stuff.
And I don't know, it's just, you know, these kind of games, as long as they have fun combat and good missions and just they make you want to you know, explore and do things, that's it really does its job. I mean, this game is very long. Like I said, I can't show you everything. I don't have the time to record like a week's, you know, worth of footage of this game and just show you every single thing, but I can show you enough to get you interested in the game and enough to get you to, you know, give it a shot. Go buy it, go try it. You know. Now, luckily for you, this review's almost over, because, you know, that was a pretty decently long review. But whenever you review things like I do in a commentary style, you kind of need a longer style. Take Clement J642 for example. He reviews things in a vlog style, and some of his vlog reviews are really long. So this is nothing compared to those. Yeah, here I'm trying to fight this evil angel thing to free the child that I had saved in the caves. But there you go. If you like Zelda games, if you like, I would say stuff like Kingdoms of Amalur, or maybe Dragon Age 2, or some, you know, just games like those kind of action-adventure RPG games, I would say definitely give Fable a try. Or if it just looks interesting to you, give it a try, especially if you're like a Sony fanboy or something and you don't really play a lot of Xbox games. You can get on Steam and, you know, and give it a go. Just give the game a go. So that was my review of Fable, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Hey geeks and gamers, welcome to my review of Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. Hey everybody, Mario Kart 8 is out. Mario Kart 8. I remember way back last year, I reviewed Super Mario Kart in celebration of this game's, you know, like announcement, and now it's out. And here we go. Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U is the latest entry in the Mario Kart franchise, blah blah blah. Of course it's amazing. I don't know why you're watching this review. Of course it's an awesome, amazing kart racer. Of course it's totally what you want. It's well worth the money for the game alone. Plus, if you get the game right now, between now and I think it's July something, you get a free game with it. Like I got New Super Mario Bros. U. That's a really good value. That's really awesome. But the game has a lot of awesome characters, a lot of awesome tracks, totally customizable. It's Mario Kart. What do you expect? The core gameplay is essentially the same. They've tweaked and added a few things. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I didn't play Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS. I never picked that one up. I don't know why I never played it. I just never got around to playing it. So if you never played 7 like myself, before you start a Grand Prix or a race or whatever, you can kind of customize your cart. You can kind of pick what kind of cart you want, you know, cart or bike, we know what whatever. Pick the wheels and pick a hang glider, because there's hang gliding segments, and there's also underwater segments. So that's really cool. But Mario Kart 8 adds zero gravity segments, like you're seeing here, where you are on like the walls and it's twisty and turny and stuff. And those feel really fresh and new. It's a really fresh and new take on Mario Kart 8. And I don't want to be that guy, but I can't say it's innovative, because Crash Nitro Kart way back in the 2000s kind of did that also. So once again, I don't want to sound like that person, but just like with Mario 3D World, I think they borrowed a little bit from Crash there. Oh well, it's still an awesome new addition to Mario Kart. Plus, there's all the classic editions. You know, it's still the same core gameplay as it's been from the 64 game and up. It's really cool, and the game looks beautiful. It's a breathtaking game. I've been playing this game non-stop. I've been playing it by myself, getting all the stuff. I've been playing it online, and it is really a totally enjoyable experience. There's really not a whole lot of things wrong. The versus, the like battle mode, where usually you have like a little arena that you fight in, that's been changed where you use tracks, and I don't really think that's a good change. I don't really care that much, because who plays battle mode anyway? And there are a few glaring omissions. Now this game kind of with older tracks, it takes them and it kind of like reinvents them, to fit Mario Kart 8, kind of like how you're seeing now with this DK track. It takes them and it adds a little bit to make it its own, or like totally redoes it. Like there's some 3D versions of Super Nintendo tracks. That's really awesome, but there's a few glaring omissions, like DK Mountain is one that I was kind of put off by the fact that it's not even on the game. DK Mountain is one of the best Mario Kart tracks of all time. Possibly the best. It is a great track. And there's a few characters that, as far as I know, aren't even in the game. I think I've unlocked everybody by this point. Maybe I haven't. Maybe no one else has, because I've tried to look it up to see if they're even in the game. But Diddy Kong is not in the game, which Diddy Kong has been one of my favorite racers in the past 2 console games. Bowser Jr. is nowhere to be seen, but like the other Koopalings are here, but just not Bowser Jr. And I love Bowser Jr. And Dry Bones. There's no Dry Bones. So those 3 characters, I'm kind of put off by the fact that they aren't even in the game. Plus DK Mountain isn't here. So if you're a big fan of those certain Mario Kart staples like I am, up to this point, those might put you off a little bit, but it's still a fantastic game. There's still tons of great new tracks, and tons of new 3D versions of old tracks, and tons of new awesome characters. I was just kind of wondering why they omitted, say, like Diddy Kong and Bowser Jr. Do we really need another Metal Mario? Do we really need more Koopalings? Do we really need Metal Peach, Baby Rosalina, whatever, But oh well. Overall, the roster's good, and for the characters and for the tracks. There are some really awesome tracks, like this Bowser's Castle. The new one is really good, and there's some really good old tracks that they've redid. Like here's Rainbow Road from 64 that they've kind of enhanced and added more to, and it's really cool. So you know what? Take it with a grain of salt. They've taken away some stuff that older fans might be used to, but they've added a lot more that kind of make up for it, I guess. So that's really cool. And here in a bit, we'll see some online play. Online play in this game, I've had no problem getting into a game. I've had no problem. It's smooth, it's fun, it's fast, it's fluent, and I've honestly spent a lot of time online. It's It's a great way to play Mario Kart. Of course, there's split screen. I haven't really got a chance to play much split screen. I played a little bit with my sister, but I haven't really got a chance to sit down with like Damon or Josh or anything and play some split screen. Hopefully, we'll do that soon. But overall, you know, it's a great Mario Kart game. It's probably the best Mario Kart game overall. My favorite is still Double Dash up to this point, but 8 is a close contender because 8 is really, really good. I don't know, it's just so well put together. It looks great, it sounds great, it plays great. You know, it's a Mario Kart game. What do you expect from a Mario Kart game? Now, you can use motion controls like we did on the Wii, you know, with steering, or you can use standard controls like I use now. I use the gamepad, the you know, whatever it is, the Wii U gamepad thing. I use it just fine with the buttons, but you can use motion control on it or motion control on Wiimotes with steering wheels. It's totally up to you, and the game's really customizable with its tracks, not tracks, but carts, and the way you play. So it's totally up to you. Now here's some online, and I definitely recommend picking up this game. Definitely, this is one of the games that's coupled with Mario 3D World and DK Country Tropical Freeze is totally worth getting the console for. It's totally worth picking up Wii U to play this game, especially since if you pick up this game, you get another game. You get a choice of 4 games: New Super Mario Bros. U, Zelda, Wind Waker HD, which I have, the Pikmin 3, which I have, and Wii Party U. So like I said, I got New Super Mario Bros. U, so that's a really awesome value right there. That by itself is really, really cool. So, and I believe they also have a Mario Kart 8 Wii U bundle. So, you know, definitely, if you've been holding off, definitely this is the game to get you into Wii U. This is the game to play on Wii U. At least till Smash Bros. Comes out, this is the best Wii U game I've played, by far. So, you know. But what do you expect? It's Mario Kart. If you expected this review to be, you know, to go any differently, to me not to sing the game's praises, then you obviously don't know what Mario Kart is in the first place. So, and you know, that was my review. Like I said, pick it up. It's a fun kart racing game. I love kart racing games of many varieties, and Mario Kart is the leading kart racer. So that Geeks and Gamers was my review of Mario Kart 8. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.